Fabulous. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you everyone for being with me today. And today we're going to be talking about the realm of the soul star chakra. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. Fabulous. All right. So, like I said, we're going to be diving into the realm of the soul star chakra. So, what is the soul star chakra? It is the second in the line of transpersonal chakras going up from the top of your head. So it is 5 to 7 inches above the top of the head or above your crown chakra. Now remember that the causal chakra is 2 to 4 inches up, but it's towards the back of the head. So what does that mean? That means that the soul star chakra is actually a chakra that is in the direct line of the top of the head or the crown chakra. Now, it may be a little bit off to a side, but not as back as the causal chakra. So it is more of an indirect line. So what can you experience here? First, I'd like to talk about that funnel system. The funnel system, which is where what our human form deciphers from spirit and what from spirit is deciphered for us for our human form. So what happens? It's like a funnel. So information from spirit comes into this big area and it gets skinny down into information that we can understand from spirit. And it's vice versa. You'll get information, the big part of the funnel can go from the information that we're sending up into spirit, or depending on where we're sending it to, that information is big and then it gets funneled down and filtered down so that spirit can understand. It's almost like having your own translation that goes through these different layers. And so the first layer from information from spirit to us is divine, limitless mind. The second is the non-ego, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And the causal chakra is that funnel, that filtering system of the ego-less mind. So going back the other way, information from us to spirit, divine limitless is the last filter in that line. Non-ego, what we're talking about today, or the soul star chakra, is the filter that is a non-ego filtering system. And the ego-less is the causal chakra. So depending on which way it's going, if it's information going to spirit or information coming from spirit, just depends on how much filtering needs to be done for either way. So what can we experience in the soul star chakra? So it's a wonderful place, and you've been there before, you just may not realize that you've been there. So in this area, you're going to remember what it's like to be spirit. You're going to feel some of those feelings. You're going to feel more like you're not in your body. You're going to remember those times a little more. It feels like a fleeting moment, but you were there for a while. So you just may remember just a tad bit of what it's like to be spirit. It's an amazing feeling. You'll get a limitless feeling of love. You'll be enraptured with love. You'll just feel it cocooning you in all ways. You will know that you just are, that you simply are. You just are you, you are part of a big whole, and you are limitless. You'll get that undoubted feeling that you remember. And when you feel it, you'll remember who you are. You'll remember that you are a divine spirit. And it's just an amazing feeling. Now, a lot of people that have experienced this could be people that have near-death experiences, NDEs, and people just that do astral traveling a lot. They'll remember what that feeling is like to be spirit and just to be who you truly are and what you came here to do. You'll get a feeling of peace. You'll realize that the things that are happening on earth, we're here for a reason. We're here to change things, to enlighten things, to make things better. And so when you may feel troubled or uneasy or just weighted down with life. But when you're in the soul star chakra, when you're being with the soul star chakra, you just feel this peace, this love and peace about you. You'll also realize what divine love truly is. Not only what it truly is, but how it feels. How does it feel? It's a lightness. It's just as if all of the worldly troubles have been lifted off your shoulders and you are just being beamed with the divine light again. It is an amazing feeling. And when you witness that, just even if it feels like for a split second, you can go back to that and remember it. It's amazing. When you consciously, and that's the thing about consciously going to these realms, to these chakras, to these transpersonal chakras, and by using your transpersonal energy system, by doing this, you are remembering and you're able to lock on to that feeling, even in your human form. And it is so enlightening. It is so empowering. And you just remember, it puts everything back in perspective. And it's just an amazing experience. And even though we've been there lots of times, we just may not remember because we just don't know how to do it. And the thing about it is once you experience all these things, it really, like I said, puts into perspective what we're here on planet Earth to do. You get a childlike sense of the limitless possibilities of what we can do and what is possible, what is magical again. It's just an amazing space. Now, one thing that a lot of people think about in the area of the soul star chakra is the Akashic Records. Now, some people also believe that when we go back to spirit, a piece or a seed of our soul is stored in the Akashic or in the soul star chakra. I tend to think of it as like a download, like we download the information from this lifetime and from future lifetimes and from past lifetimes, just different times, different eras, different galaxies, different universes. All of that is stored in the Akashic Records. And you can think of it as almost like a library of information, a library of your information that you can go to and delve into for past lives, for future lives, for just lots of different information. It's all stored there in the Akashic Records. But also, it's not just books. And that's why when I say library, it's almost as if when you go there, not only is it amazing, it's just, and it just depends on what you think of the Akashic Records and what you think of as this area. It can be anything, and I'll show you some ideas that I've heard from people that it's just amazing when you've gone there, what the interpretation is of the space that you've gone to. Now, it's not just books, like I said, it is People are there. You can talk with people. You can talk with people, the librarians. You can talk with spirit guides there. You can talk with, you can hear audios. You can see visuals. And it's just, this place is limitless. It is just amazing, the amount of information that is stored in the Akashic Records. Now, like I said, it's as if all of our collective consciousness can be stored in there, but not just our collective consciousness when we're present here, but from our past lives, future lives, different galaxies, different realities. It's just amazing. So what does your Akashic Records look like? It's up to you. It could look like just you floating in this portal of just tons and tons and tons of books or information, or maybe doors that you go through to learn new things. Or it could look like a used bookstore. You could go in and there's just piles of books everywhere. It's maybe a little disorganized. Maybe the smell is a little bit strong, but whatever is of that kind of, if you've been in a used bookstore, you'll know what I'm talking about, but just maybe a little more disorganized, but still it could be just right up your alley. It may be very pristine. It may be very old looking. It may be very towering, as in the picture below. It almost looks like a museum. It could be made of stone or granite or anything. It could be very etched. It could have statues everywhere. It could have fine art everywhere. That may be your Akashic Records. Or it may be more of a this picture on the left, where it's just row upon row upon row of books everywhere and long halls, and maybe some statues, but not as rocky or made of granite or stone, but more of wood. Maybe the wood is more enticing to you. Or it could be a whole tunnel, a tunnel of books that you just walk through and they just kind of float to you, or the information floats to you, or as you're walking, you're seeing this information, or as you're walking, you're witnessing or coming into contact with spirit guides or just anyone. Or you may just find like a cozy little nook, a cozy little area where you sit and you just think of what you want and it comes to you. Instead of walking or having to look or having to go through, then maybe it just comes to you. So any of those areas, any of those ideas can come to you. And when you go there, it will be what is best for you, what you experience or what you think of as a library or something that is just perfect for you. Mine is actually a mixture of all of them. Once I think I've done as much as I want to around the area, I find a cozy little nook and I can think of things maybe as I'm reading or I'm viewing something. I can actually manifest something. It's just as soon as you think, oh, maybe I need to explore this, it comes right to you. The information is just there for you always. And if you want to talk with someone, you can think of someone, or you can think of the librarian or your version of the librarian. Whenever I go to the Akashic Records, there is a little old man who meets me and greets me. He's kind of in a nicer looking outfit. He kind of looks like the guardian of my Akashic Records. He looks like he's from, oh my gosh, the 1800s and that kind of wear. And he has these long sideburns and just hair. He's bald on top, but has a little bit of ruff around the neck. And he walks with me and talks with me and greets me so warmly. I just feel so encompassed with love when I go there. So I hope that helped you with learning a little bit about the soul star chakra. If you have any thoughts or ideas or want to share your experience with me, or you have questions, feel free to send me an email below or just type in a question in the YouTube chat box down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, which is pretty quick most of the time. I hope to hear from you soon, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for taking some time with me today. As always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.